Hi viewers, today we'll see about fiber to fabric. As we know, fibers we can get from, it has two kinds of fibers. One is animal fiber and one is plant fiber. Today we'll see about animal fiber. As soon as I said animal fiber, you may be remembering wool and silk. Yes, very good. We'll see about these two, wool and silk. Wool, as soon as we said the wool, we'll be remembering the rhyme from the very young age we have learned. That is, Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, it's 3 bags full. So, as soon as we say this wool, we'll be comparing this with a sheep. Because this fleece of sheep is not only the source of wool. The commonly available wool in the market is sheep wool. So we are comparing wool with the sheep. Other than sheep, we can get wool from goat, yak, and even camel, rabbit we can get. When do we wear this woolen dresses? On winter days to protect us from, make us warm, to protect us from cold, we are using woolen dresses. Because what is the principle behind this? Air trap a lot of air. Okay, hair. Okay, the fleece of air will trap a lot of air. So air is poor conductor of heat. Hair is poor conductor of heat, so it keeps the animals warm. This is actually natural coat given by the God to the animals. As man can make in everything, he'll be making everything for his comfort. He removing the air of the sheep and then make the woolen dresses for his comfort. Okay, depends upon the fineness, softness and shininess. This will be graded as the first quality, second quality. Then we will be knowing this fleece of air. From the fleece of air we get wool. The wool will not be, the air will not be in the same kind. Even in our body, we have the skull is protected by hair and our skin is also protected by small minute hairs. These two hairs will not be in same quality, same type. Our hair on our head will be rough and coarse compared to our small hair covered our skin, isn't it? So depends upon the coarse and the fine softness, the what is that, wool will be grading as first quality and second quality. I said already, not only from the sheep, different animals also provide us wool. So we'll see about that. Wool, where do they get in different places? Yak wool. From yak they collect wool in the place of Tibet and Ladakh, and mohair is the kind of wool from Angora goats. It is a goat. Angora goats give mohair wool. It is available in Jammu and Kashmir, hilly region like Jammu and Kashmir. We can see the hilly regions will be very cold, so it has very thick fur. Okay, then depends upon that atmosphere, the kind of fleece will be there. Depends upon that fleece, that will be graded the quality, first quality and second quality. Under fur of Kashmiri goat is very soft. What does it mean by under fur? Nearby that abdomen, below that abdomen part, the hair will be very soft. As we said, our hair on our head and skin, hair on our skin will not be the same kind. Even the body hair is very shiny to this goat, but this is very special. Under fur of this Kashmiri goat is very special. From that we can make pashmina shawls. From that they make pashmina shawls. Okay. Then camel fur in South America is famous. That kind of camel is llama and alpaca. This is llama and this is alpaca. Not only this in 3 colors, all the animals will be available in all 3 colors, like black, white and brown color. Okay. Then From fibers to wool, these areas will be collecting fibers to wool. Nearby the hilly area, we can here Himalayas are placing. So Jammu and Kashmir, first quality of wool, because the atmosphere climate is very cold. So naturally, God's creature, that animals in that hilly areas will be having thick fur, so that quality may be very good and first quality. Then other than this, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, here Uttarakhand is also known as Uttaranchal, formerly known as Uttaranchal, Uttar Pradesh, Sikkim, everywhere, Gujarat, everywhere they use wool. Okay, because the south part, this will be very hot compared to these areas. Those wool will be, so the wool will be famous in this area. Then sheep are herbivores. We collect fleece of sheep for wool. Then what will be the food of the sheep? If we come to know that sheep are herbivores, they prefer grass and leaves. Apart from that, so that they will not be keep on eating only grass or leaves. Even then, we are preferring, our major food is maybe wheat or rice. But even then, we'll be having any other pulses also will be having. In that same way, the sheep will not be having only grass and leaves. Apart from that, the rearers. What do you mean by rearers? Rearers in the sense, who is taking care of them, who is look after the animals, will feed them with the pulses, corn, jowar, oil cakes. Oil cakes in the sense, material left after taking out of oil from seeds. Okay, after taking oil, that will be the waste. For example, groundnut oil, collecting from groundnut. After taking groundnut oil, that groundnut will be the waste one. That is known as oil cake. If it is sunflower seed, after taking oil from that sunflower seed, that sunflower seed will be the waste one. Okay, in Tamil that is called as punnak. Okay, oil cake in the sense punnak, and other minerals also they will be feeding them. But it is on the hot days, warmer days, summer days, and on winter days or rainy days, they keep the animals indoor and fed on leaves, grains and dry fodder. Okay, not only grass and leaves, they will be eating these also. Then type of breed, we will be knowing some type of breed and some quality of wool, and where we can find this wool. Okay, that is first one, Lohi is name of the breed. A good quality wool, it gives us good quality of wool. It is available in Rajasthan and Punjab. Then Rampur Bushar. What is that? Rampur Bushar. It will having brown fleece. It will be giving brown fleece. It is available in Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh. Then Nali. Nali is name of the breed. It gives carpet wool. What does it mean by carpet wool? That will be coarse. Okay, that will be coarse. It is available in Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab. Then Bakarwal breed. Bakarwal breed gives us woolen shawls. Shawls will be very soft usually. So Bakarwal, it is available in Jammu Kashmir. As I said, the hilly areas, the animals will have a thick soft fur. Okay, so it is available. Depends upon that atmosphere climate only, the animals will be having the fur, fleece on them. Okay, Bakarwal is available, that makes woolen shawls. It is available in Jammu and Kashmir. Then Marwari is a coarse wool, available in Gujarat. Then Patanwadi is hosiery in the sense to make tights and pants, inner wears. This is available in Gujarat. So depends upon that breed, the rearers will demand for that good quality of breed. Okay, this is called selectively bread. Okay, they will be offering for the good quality breed, so they will go for that to the veterinarians. So it is called a selectively bred. Okay, then hair is, we have come to know so far, the wool is a fleece of hair. Hair is shaved off for getting wool. Okay, so far we have come to know this. Hair is shaved off for getting wool. Then what are all the process in making wool? First one, shearing, removing of hair from the sheep. That is called removing of hair by using a trimmer. That is, as a barber cut our hair, trim our hair, and we are cutting our nails without any hurt. In that same way, the sheep will be shearing, removal of fleece of hair from the sheep is known as shearing. Then that will be scouring. Scouring in that sense, washing that without any dirt and grease. Then sorting into, depends upon that length, sorting out the wool, sorting out the thread. Then cleaning of burrs. Cleaning of burrs in the sense, any hardened particles if there, they will be removing that burrs. Then make into rolling. Rolling and coloring. Dyeing is known as coloring. These are all the steps involving in making wool. Shearing, scouring, sorting, cleaning burrs, rolling and dyeing are the processing making wool. Then occupational hazard. Occupational hazard in the sense, while they are starting out, it is a risky job. Sometimes they get infected by bacteria. Bacterium is a rod-shaped bacteria affected by that. This disease is known as anthrax. This also known as sorter's disease. This also, while sorting the wool, they affected. So it is known as sorter's disease. Such risks faced by workers in any industry, depends upon that industry, the workers will be affected. These are all known as occupational hazards. These are all known as occupational hazards. Then so far we have completed that wool, how to know, how to get wool by that rearing of, we have seen rearing of sheep or rearing of animals to get wool. Then from that, what are all the places we have seen? Jammu, Kashmir, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, everywhere they are doing, and we have seen some of them, some of the places in the map also, to remember that. If we read only by words, we will be forgetting. If we see on the map, we can able to understand. Then the steps involved in that depends upon that atmosphere and climate, that fleece will be in good quality, and according to that they will be demanded for that breeding, particular high quality breeding, that is known as selective bred. And steps involved in making wool is shearing, scouring, sorting, cleaning of burrs, rolling and dyeing. Then we'll see about the silk. When we are growing, we are getting silk. Rearing of silkworms. Rearing in the sense, we are keeping them, okay, taking care of that. Rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is known as sericulture. Sericulture. What is sericulture? Rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Then when we talk about the silk, we inquire with our mother, aunt, grandmother and everyone. They'll be saying the very good quality, that is types of varieties of silk. Usually they'll be saying Bangalore silk, Angora silk, soft silk, Pochampalli silk, Mysore silk, Swarnachari. Swarnachari in the sense with the gold threads they are weaving in between. Swarnachari silks and Koza silk, Tasha silk, Muga silk, Dharmavaram silk, Narayanpat, Baipuri silk and Uppada silk, Khadi silk in south, that is very famous Kanchipuram silk. Okay, and In this we have classified as mulberry silk, eri silk, taza silk, muga silk. But in this mulberry silk is contributing 90% of silk production with the mulberry silkworm. Silkworm that we will be seeing that what does it mean by mulberry? Mulberry is a name of a tree. This animal, this butterfly will be, by eating the mulberry leaves, it will be growing. That will be in good quality. So that is mulberry silkworm. Okay. Then what is the life history of a silk moth? Silk moth, first female will be laying eggs, then hatching into caterpillar. This caterpillar will change to pupa, then changes to butterfly. In this, it will be laying eggs, hatch larva called caterpillar. This caterpillar grows into pupa. It first weaves before it, from this stage to this stage, caterpillar to pupa, it is making weaving, okay, weaving a net to hold itself, weaving a net to hold itself. Then it swings its head from this side to that side. So this shell will be like a 8, number 8, no, it will be like a groundnut. The shell later, that shell will be in the shape of number 8 or groundnut. During this movement of head, the caterpillar secretes. During this movement, the caterpillar secretes protein around the body because when it's exposed to the air around in the atmosphere, it becomes very hardened, okay, and it becomes a silk fiber. It secretes protein around its body. Because of the air in the surrounding, it becomes hardened and it becomes silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely covers its body. Soon the caterpillar completely covers its body to turn into pupa. This covering is known as cocoon. This covering is known as cocoon. And putting this cocoon into, and in this stage it will be keep on eating for 25 days to 40 days, 25 days to 30 days. It caterpillar stops eating, caterpillar without stopping eating, and it will be grown into enormously. This size will be become very enormously, it will be growing. In this stage the rearers who is getting the silk thread will put this into, actually as it is if it is natural we can collect and do. If it is artificial, these chambers, it will be when they will be arranging these caterpillars to move into a chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin cocoons. Okay, it is artificially they are doing. Then small racks or twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. If it is artificial, it's a natural process that will be growing in the mulberry leaves. As we are doing now artificially, we are arranging for with the bamboo and a tray, bamboo tray. Okay, then the caterpillar or silkworm spins cocoon inside and develop into silk moth. After it grown fully, as it is eating for 25 to 30 days non-stoppingly, and it becomes very growth, enormously it growth, enormously in size, increases the size. So after in this stage, they will put this cocoon in the boiled water or steam to separate the silk thread. By unwinding, actually what word it is? Unwinding the silk thread from the cocoon is known as reeling. Okay. Also, what is the name of the who is getting silk thread from this, who is having this occupation is known as sericulture. Who is having this occupation by rearing silk and getting silk thread is known as sericulture. It is the old occupation, very old occupation in India, and some of the varieties of silk we have known, and mulberry silk is the first quality of the silk we have seen, and the life cycle of the butterfly we have seen. First will be egg, larva, pupa, and adult butterfly. And in this what is this? In this larva stage, it make a make a nest around that by using this protein. In the air it becomes a strong shell. It will be in the shape of 8 or groundnut shape. As it is in this stage, it keeps on eating for 25 to 30 days and it grows very bigger sizes. In this stage the farmers who is having this occupation, they will be collecting the thread, unwinding the cocoons by using hot water or steam of water. They are collecting the thread from cocoon. It is known as reeling. Till this we have completed the lesson fiber to fabric. Any doubt you can feel free to contact me for clarification your doubts. Thank you.